What up, everybody? We live right now on the MadVooDooMan channel on YouTube. So come by and hang with us. We're going to talk about the assassination attempt. We're also going to talk about why women are in trouble, why women are going to be in more trouble after Biden leaves office. And we're going to talk about why black women are the main why black women and children make up the majority of sex trafficking victims. We're going to talk about that. Come holler at us, the MadVooDooMan channel on YouTube. Holler at your boy. Bring a friend, bring a family, tell your family about the live stream. All right? Holla. What? Wow. Hey y'all, we're gonna give folks a couple of more minutes to get in the room. So I'm gonna go upstairs and handle a couple of minutes, handle some business for a couple of minutes. I'll be right back down here. Holla at your boy. Y'all give me 1 minute. Let me go take care of something real quick. Tuned in to the Facts Over Feelings podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. More bounce to the ounce, and I say what counts. Don't nobody go home till the fat man gets it in. What's happening, chocolate people? If you ain't got it, make sure you go get it. My first book, The Game of Life, according to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get this at AskTheIceman.com or Amazon.com. Okay. All right. What's happening, y'all? Back up in you one more again for another episode of the Facts Over Feelings podcast, featuring your boy, the Iceman. Hope you had a great weekend. And I hope your week is equally as enjoyable and productive. Can you dig it? Yep. So anyway, Saturday I was driving. Did I go to Home Depot Saturday? No, I didn't go to Home Depot Saturday. I went to the Trader Joe's. That's where I went. I went to Trader Joe's and Costco. That's right. Anyway, and normally I don't get up on Saturday morning and go, but I was up early. So I was like, let me get over here and take care of business. Anyway, so I'm driving home and I, sometimes on Saturday morning, I usually do a video and post it on Instagram. And by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter and Instagram, you're lacking, you're leaking. You're lacking and you're leaking. Real players don't leak. Can you dig it? So go over to Instagram and Twitter, one handle, at the Iceman Show. Go over there and follow me right now. Don't cost you nothing. That way you're in the know on what's going on, in what's goings on. Can you dig it? So anyway, I get home and I turn on the TV. And on Saturday, I usually look at baseball games. So I'm looking for a game to look at. And I really wasn't finding anything. So what I did is, so what I ended up doing, I went and kept turning different channels. And I said, so I turned to CNN, I think it was. I think that was the first channel I looked at. And it was like, they were talking about assassination attempt. I was like, what? I'm like, man, I ain't heard about none of this. And I was listening to my frat brother, Dr. Wilmer Leon, and I was surprised that they didn't break from the programming and list and talk about what had happened, since that was a major development. But they didn't. So that's another reason why I didn't know what happened until I got home. Anyway, I'm looking and I said, oh damn, somebody done got at Biden's ass. Must be one of his constituents who getting tired of getting raped at the pump and at the grocery store, and finally decide to take matters into their own hands. But then I'm looking and they show a Trump rally. They show a Trump rally, and I see Trump standing up there talking. I see him ducking. I thought somebody had threw something up. I thought somebody threw something at the stage. Okay, I thought somebody threw something at the stage. I said, "Oh man, you know, remember that time that dude? Remember when George W. Bush was hosting the Iraqi president, and that dude started throwing them shoes at him." Man, that shit was funny as hell. Okay, I thought it was one of them situations, so I didn't really take it seriously. But then when they said that somebody shot at Trump, I'm thinking in 2024 somebody got off a shot. Something stinks to high heaven, man. Something stinks to high heaven. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know who's involved, but I can tell you this: that is possibly an inside job. An inside job. This is coming from level 1 snipers, Navy SEALs, Green Berets. Okay? These are guys who are the top tier snipers who get sent around the world to do some unthinkable things. And even these guys were saying, man, there is no way that the Secret Service can be that stupid. And they can be that unprepared to protect the president, whether he's a former president or not. In 2024, somebody can get off a shot. This man, and let me start from the beginning. Hours before the rally, everybody has to go through metal detectors. Police who was running that op, and I guess the Secret Service was there too, checking people out, making sure people was cool. Everybody was cool, which was that's what they're supposed to do. And this guy first of all, he gets past them. Then somehow, some way, he gets a 5-foot ladder and scales this building that is exactly 150 yards away from the podium on the right side. Because if you notice, there was a sniper team here, a sniper team here, Trump's here, and the shooter's here. So he has a straight shot. Who got the ladder in there? How did he get a ladder in there? And they said for some mysterious reason, they can't find the ladder. The ladder is missing. Okay? Now, let me give you some more hard to believe facts about this situation. This should make you think for a second. Ice, I don't know if I don't think this was an inside job, but it stinks. This whole situation stinks. Well, let me break it down for you, player. Look, this whole perimeter, let me tell you something. The local police and Secret Service provide a 360-degree protection around the event. They want to be on the outside in case these people pop up inside of the rally. They can take care of these people and they can't run. But unfortunately, there might be casualties, like unfortunately, like that fire chief that got killed, unfortunately, protecting his baby girl. That's sad, man. I feel bad. I feel bad for that family, man. This man and it was two other older white men that got shot. One got shot in the liver and the chest. I mean, come on, man. Then you shoot this dude after he done killed these people and shot at the president. So anyway, those are the first two things that stink. He got through the metal detectors. He got through the metal detectors with a backpack and a rangefinder. You know what a rangefinder is? This is what we use in the military to see where somebody is, to see further down range, to see see where the bad guys are. Okay? It's like a binocular. It usually comes with one sight and lens. It's usually just one, it's just got one lens to it, not two like binoculars. He had a rangefinder, and they said the people observing this dude, they said he was walking around looking suspicious, looking at angles, looking at the stage, and walking around with his looking through his rangefinder. And people right then, people got suspicious. And they said they went to local law enforcement that was right there in the area. Hey, by the way, everybody hit the like button, share this video link on all your social media platforms, Share the link, please. Hit the like button. Anyway, then he gets hold to the ladder and climbs up on this metal building and lays in the prone position with a AR-556 rifle. I know exactly what rifle that is. That rifle is no joke. Okay? That's a very good weapon. Okay? Now he has his cell phone and a transmitter. Now I don't know what that transmitter was for. I'm thinking he might have been using it as an early warning system, where maybe he had something laid out somewhere prior to the situation going down. But how do you get all that past police and metal detectors? Then he gets up there and shoots at the president, but also shoots at the crowd behind Trump. This is how those other three people got hit. Now, some people have been saying some things in the media. Some folks are talking about how this guy wasn't a very good marksman. But he only missed President Trump's actual head by 2 or 3 centimeters. That's close as hell, because it hit Trump right here. It tore off part of his ear right here. Okay? It tore off part of his ear right there. So that bullet whatever that distance is from Trump's ear here, outer ear to the side of his head, that ain't even a half an inch. That's like half an inch. And some people were saying, well, in the gun club that he goes to, months before, he had been coming in there on a regular basis practicing shooting. So he knew he was going to do this a long time before. Now, succinctly, let me give you the chronology of this whole situation after he gets on top of the building and shoots at Trump. Now, 20 minutes before that, Secret Service was notified that there was a gunman on top of that building. You know damn good well, if there had been a black guy, they wouldn't even let his ass through the metal detector. They'd be like, hold up, sir, what do you got a sight finder? Why do you have that, a range finder? What you need that for? The stage ain't that far from even the back of the rally. Nobody asked any questions. Then a local cop climbed up the ladder to see what was going on up there. He points the gun at the cop. The cop climbs down the damn stairs. What kind of cowardly shit is that? Now these sorry ass white cops that we encounter on a daily basis from California to New York State, they act like they the baddest mugs on the planet, don't they? They try to act like they the baddest mugs on the planet. They yanking us out the car, shooting black folks in the car, outside the car, choking us out. But this little beta male pointed a gun at him, and he went back down the damn stairs. I hope that guy is going to get fired. And I hope, just like that Uvalde police chief, I hope they put the cuffs on his ass and arrest him for dereliction of duty, not protecting the public, because he could have stopped that thing. You digs? He could have stopped that, but he didn't try. Now, if that had been a black man up there, he would have been firing at him, but not for the right reasons. You digs? And then there's the case of how did he get that rifle in there? Either he went over there a day or 2 days or whatever in advance and found some way to place that thing in there. I don't think he did. I don't think he did. Here's why I don't think he did. The cops sweep the whole area every day, even before the rally, to make sure they didn't forget anything in Secret Service. That's what they do. And what ended up happening is this dude ends up on the top of this building with a long gun. Secret Service gets notified 20 minutes before that first shot rang out, and they do nothing. Secret Service didn't get a bead on this guy until right before he shot shot at President Trump and killed that dude and shot them other two guys. Huh? Come on, man. You ain't got to be no ex-cop or ex-military to know that something don't make sense, man. If it don't make sense, it's either a lie or it didn't happen. Or in this case, it's an inside job. Possibly. Starting to smell like an inside job, ain't it? Because if they were sweeping this area every day before the rally and then on the same day of the rally, they would have found that gun, wouldn't it? They would have found it in the tree. If he climbed up in the trees and hid that thing, if he hid it on top of that building, somebody would have saw him, wouldn't it? Somebody would have saw him. Somebody would have saw the dude. Somebody would have saw the dude. Somebody would have saw that, somebody would have saw that rifle. They would have saw that rifle in the trees or on top of that building. Now, the Secret Service snipers, man, they got $10,000, $20,000 sniper rifles. They didn't get a bead on him till a couple of minutes before he shot. And like I said, they knew 20 minutes before the first shot that this dude was on top of the building with a long gun. So after I saw what happened multiple times, and I started thinking about how this dude get a gun past all these damn cops. Some don't smell right. They don't even smell right, man. It makes absolutely no sense. Again, it's either a lie or it didn't happen or it's an inside job. Look to me like it's like the prize is behind door number 3. You digs? Look, I'm an expert marksman. Okay? And I can tell you, making that shot from 150 yards away is not an easy shot. We start at 175 yards and then we keep increasing till it gets up to 300 yards. Okay? I shot expert at multiple distances. Okay? So I know what it takes to make a shot like that. Your breathing got to be perfect. You see, he missed. You see, he missed. And this guy's a twerp. You see how this guy got pizza face. I mean, he was, he probably ain't had no women. He was everybody thought he was weird. He used to get bullied. And this is the guy that tries to take out a former president. And he did it by himself. Because you notice right off the bat, just like they do whenever these white supremacists kill black folks, they always say, oh, such and such is a lone wolf. The only one of these white supremacists who was a lone wolf was Dylan Roof when he shot them 9 innocent black folks in Mother of Emmanuel Church down there in South Carolina. He was a lone wolf moron. Okay? Sad. It's sad, man. Horrible. Horrible. But think about that for a second, people. 150 yards? That's not close at all. To do an assassination of a public figure, that's close. But the average citizen making a shot from 150 yards, highly unlikely. And that's with a sight. That's with what do they call that thing? With the scope on it. Look, let me tell you something. I know where I can get a sniper rifle. And let me tell you something. The sight, the scope costs more than the damn gun itself. Okay? Because some guns just, when you see a sight on a cheap gun, that's not a scope on that's just glass. It's just a look-alike, to give you a certain feel. Usually for, starter rifles that you buy kids in junior high and high school. It's usually on one of those. But if you want a decent scope, you're going to have to pony up $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. Trust me when I tell you. Because the gun itself will cost $3,000. But that scope will cost more than the damn gun. And even with a sight, that's still a I shot expert with no sight, with no scope, none. Just line that gun up, pop, and hit center mass. Okay. Now somebody like me can make that shot. I can make that shot, and I'm not even a trained sniper. "20 minutes before the first shot, Secret Service knew exactly who he was, where he was, and what he was doing." Now, I want you to go back to January of 2020. Remember, that was the start of the pandemic. Some are saying, and I don't believe this. I got to see more evidence. I don't believe this. But I have heard that the pandemic was put into play to ruin Donald Trump's presidency. The reason why I don't totally believe that, reason why I don't believe that, is because why would they do it at the end of his tenure in the White House? That's something you do in the beginning. That's something you do in the beginning, not the end. But that could have been the case. Maybe it took them that long to get the op together. But according to these people, if the pandemic was the result of something the Democrats were doing, then we got to look at this thing further. What's happening at Justice 600? This little twerp, when you look at a guy like him, he looks like a guy that sits in the house playing video games all day. This is your lone assassin, huh, people? You saw what he looked like. Some people say when they saw him from a distance, they thought he was a girl because he had long hair. Now this man done put a bullseye on his family's back. They ain't gonna leave their family alone. Because they're gonna keep messing with him like they know something. They know something and they don't know nothing. They didn't know they didn't know he was gonna do that. They didn't know he was. That's why they called the police on their own damn son. Say, hey man, because you know what that's gonna do to them? People are gonna start taking, and they got pictures of these people house all on Fox News. They got they all over the news channels. Yeah, exactly, Gilbert. He looks like an incel. Probably never had no ass. He looked like a virgin. And not the 40-year-old virgin either. This little poop butt 20-year-old dude is a criminal mastermind. Really? Is that what y'all want us to believe? Huh? You have seen over the years, especially since I've been doing this podcast since October of 2010, you know damn good and well some things have happened in this country that defy logic. And we have discussed those things on this platform, haven't we? So the question I have is that you mean to tell me we so stupid that we think this dude was a criminal mastermind? That he could get past 2 or 3 layers of police officers? He could sneak a gun in there? If he had that gun on him, which I don't think he did, because that gun is about this long. You can't, that's not one of them sniper rifles you could take apart and you got 2 or 3 pieces of it. No, this is one of those guns. This is a fixed long gun. Okay? Somebody was helping him. Because when I first started hearing people talking about this was an inside job, I was like, here we go. Here we go with the conspiracy theorists. But then I started sitting there thinking about it, and I said, they got a point. This does smell like an inside job. How did he get the gun past law enforcement? Why is it that hours before he shot at President Trump and shot those innocent people, he was walking around like he was up to no good? Now, you know, it don't take nothing for them to alert the police when we walking around, and we could just we just there chilling, and they'll sit up there and have us in cuffs for no reason. But the little white dude, nah. And that might have been why they picked him. Look, people, I don't put nothing past Biden in them. Look what they are doing. They are the first administration to put charges on a former president. They lie. The Democratic Party, that Biden and them been lie like a rug. Did y'all? I'm looking at TV the other day, and Biden came up with another black friend. Okay, he has another black friend, and this, instead of corn pop and baked potato, this guy name is Mouse. Now, let me ask you, you know damn good and well none of these people existed. You know why I know they never existed? Because how is it that all your black friends got nicknames like that are totally ridiculous? Black folks don't talk. Black folks don't. I ain't never heard nobody nickname Corn Pop. Okay? You know damn good and well Biden's family were a bunch of white supremacists. I know they didn't hang around no black folks. Oh, he ain't no genius. That fool ain't no genius. He just had help. That's all that is. He had help. And anybody that says he didn't, you're misinformed. Because you don't know guns. I know long guns. I'd rather you give me a rifle. I'll take a rifle over a gun any day. It's more accurate and it does more damage. Handgun, you got to get too damn close to people. Handguns are not easy. Handguns ain't easy to shoot from a far distance. After about maybe 60, 70, 80 feet, you start missing the damn target. If you don't have a sight, if you don't have a scope on that gun or a laser on that gun, I know guns. I slept with guns when I was in Iraq. Okay? So for them to sit up there, and you notice that the response from Biden, Harris, and other Democrats around the country, notice it seems like they, for the first time in his presidency, Joe Biden addresses the nation from the Oval Office, unlike other presidents before him. He wasn't stuttering. He wasn't having, an Alzheimer's moment. It seemed, he obviously was reading off a teleprompter. And then they were insincere. I know y'all peeped that. If you haven't, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button and copy and paste the link to this video on your social media so we can draw people to the live stream. Can you do that for me? Appreciate it. So there's about 3 impossibilities that this went as far that this shouldn't have gone as far as it did. Because they should have taken his ass out when that cop climbed up that damn ladder and he pointed that gun at him. Had that been a black man, he would have sat up there and not. And I think they said the dude climbed up there without his gun. That's what it was. The cop who climbed up there didn't have his gun on him. That's why he went back down the stairs. That's what they said. They said he didn't have. How you gonna be a cop and not have your damn gun on you? What kind of cop are you? Yeah, and remember, brothers and sisters, these are the Derek Chauvins, the cowardly Derek Chauvins of the country who can't wait to get a gun and badge so they can murder black folks and maim black folks and injure black folks and plant evidence on us. Have us doing football years in prison. The hell out of here. Nah, he wasn't no renter. That's what I thought too. That's what I thought, Edward. I thought it was a security guard. Because why else? But usually for something as important, look, I shook George H.W. Bush's hand. I've seen how those Secret Service agents work. And them dudes are huge. Okay? Them dudes are huge, and they are in excellent shape. Okay? One time, George H.W. Bush came to my base, one of my bases that I was at. Okay? They start the security process weeks in advance. See, they don't have to do everything the same day. They still got to go over the whole security plan. They still got to go over they still got to go over the plan, people. Because they got to make sure everybody where they're supposed to be. And a lot of people are blaming everything on the female Secret Service agents that looked all scared and lost. Like you remember the white dude with the white dude with the red hair and the red beard. He was getting interviewed by a BBC reporter. None of those people that got interviewed by the BBC were interviewed by American television. Did y'all know that? None of them. If the BBC hadn't interviewed that first dude, we still wouldn't know what happened. He said straight up, he said, man, it didn't make sense. He says, I was saying to my people, man, something don't make sense here. These cops are running around here like that, and they don't seem to know what they're doing. That's not the image I got of Secret Service when they came to my Air Force base. They are very organized. They are more organized than the FBI is. They gotta be. You protecting the commander-in-chief or former commander-in-chief or senator or the House or the Speaker of the House. They get security details. Seriously? But they were clowning. I don't think they were clowning the white girl that the Secret Service agent that was up on the stage with the rest of those dudes. I don't think they were talking about her. They're talking about the one that was on the side of the stage that looked like she was looking like, this is your job, woman. This is your job. And you scared? The only time I was scared in Iraq was when the first night I went on patrol. After that, I wasn't scared no more. Okay? These are white people talking about the ineptitude of mainly local law enforcement, but the Secret Service agents that were posted up around the rally. They seemed like they didn't even know what's going on. And homeboy said we were getting frustrated because people kept going to cops and saying, hey man, y'all don't see this. They were pointing at this dude. A couple people even filmed this dude laying up there, preparing to take his shot. And they didn't do anything? What does that tell you? And nobody, look. It might take a few weeks, but if some of them cops that were supposed to be protecting the president didn't do what the hell they were supposed to be, they weren't doing their job, they gonna get fired. And if they're not fired in 2 or 3 weeks, We know it's in. We got, that's one confirmation that this was an inside job. We got an administration and a political party that is possibly willing to take out a former president because they know they're going to lose. They know they're going to lose. And now when you turn to MSNBC and CNN, I don't look at MSNBC. I can't stand them. I can't stand CNN either. But I can tolerate CNN better than I can tolerate them. So I usually turn to CNN. And now, at first, remember back 3 or 4 months ago, they wouldn't even admit on CNN and MSNBC that Biden was losing voters, that Biden was losing black folks. Remember that? They wouldn't even admit it. They kept lying and saying that Biden was leading Trump, which in some polls he was leading it. But you notice before that debate went down, he was already losing to Trump by 1 or 2 to 3 points in those six battleground states. The main ones in play are Georgia, Wisconsin, and Michigan. Now they talking about my state of Minnesota is possibly in play because people getting sick and tired of this Democratic. They sick and tired of the Democrats up here. Man, as soon as they got a majority in the legislature and this old fat ass white supremacist we got, this Democratic governor we got in the governor's mansion. Let me tell y'all something. Man, they passed, they passed it so these no good illegal aliens can get driver's licenses and they don't have to be citizens of this damn country, which means they get a free Social Security number. They get citizenship, de facto citizenship without contributing anything, like you and I have. The hell out of here. Are they falling down on the job out there in Quantico, Virginia, where the academy is for Secret Service, ATF, and FBI and DEA I said FBI. They all go through the same training, basic 6 months training. But then when they, if they do special stuff in their respective agencies, then they go to separate training. Like if you're gonna be DEA, you go get trained on all things drugs. Okay, you gotta learn You can't just know you can't just know street drugs. You have to know most pharmaceutical drugs as well. Can you dig it? Now, let me tell you this, man. I ain't no Trump fan. You know I ain't no Biden fan because I don't vote for Democrats. But I can say this. I don't think no former president or acting president have to worry about getting shot at. Okay? They shouldn't have to worry about getting shot at. Okay? And you could tell Donald Trump, he ain't the same person. You could tell he ain't the same person. Because Donald Trump come from a privileged background. You know, his father was a multimillionaire. You know, Trump went to private school. Okay? Trump went to private school. So he ain't used to getting, somebody getting at him like that. So you know that mess with his head. He looks subdued, don't he? Okay? And let me say this. The Democrats, they're so damn hateful, man. They're so damn hateful. They were sitting up there talking about Trump was trying to grandstand while after he got shot, Trump was trying to do this, do that. I was like, are y'all serious, man? Let me tell y'all something. Let me tell you, anybody that works for the state Democratic Party of your respective state, or you work for the DNC, let me say this to you. Your boy already going down. And right now, people are already eyeballing all these big mouth congresswomen and men in Congress, the do nothing Democrats, the Cori Bushes, the ill hand, cool hand Omars, the Ayanna Presleys, who are up there in Congress taking up space, ain't doing nothing for their constituents. The Biden administration ain't did nothing but disrespect black folks, the disrespect their voting base, and shit all over. They didn't just disrespect black voters. They shit it all on Democratic voters. And these dumb, shiftless, plantation Negroes are still talking about we vote for Joe Biden. These mammies and these coons and these Sambos. They can't wait to have a photo op with President Biden standing their mammy ass up there taking pictures, hugging all on Biden. This is why we still fighting the same problems 500 years later, 50 years later after the civil rights movement. You know why we still fighting this? We're still having we're still with the same problems that we dealt with in the 50s and 60s, because we look at all the coon and Sambo and mammy grandmothers and great grandmothers and fathers that we see that want all they want. They don't want nothing. They don't want no reparations. They don't want nothing. All they want is to be able to hug on white people, not get called nigger to their faces, and being able to live next to white people. See, that social integration is the only positive takeaway from the civil rights movement. Social integration, that was it. But politically and economically, we're still on the bottom rung of society. So here we are 50 years after the civil rights movement, and we're still dealing with the same problems. What does that tell you? That tells me that the black people that we sent to Congress to act on our behalf, these people have been just ingratiating themselves and getting rich while we sit up here and starve, while their constituents sit up here starving. Now, this old stupid ass congressman from Jackson, Mississippi, old Benny Coon Thompson in Jackson, Mississippi, this stupid ass, sorry ass Biden ass kissing Negro, he gonna sit up here and present a resolution to take President Trump's Secret Service detail away from him. Now, obviously, he wasn't successful, but what if he was? blood would be on his hands. He's trying to kiss white folks' asses so much and show Biden that he's a willing participant in Biden's white supremacist ways, that he could have almost single-handedly been responsible for that assassination attempt or assassination. He should feel like a damn fool. And you know what? Here, Benny Thompson up here. He up here with, he's on the January 6th committee. He's all up there trying to act like he's so goddamn important. And do you know Benny Thompson's his congressional district got the poorest people some of the poorest people in the country. Some of the poorest black folks in America live in Jackson, Mississippi, or in that area. And you know why they're broke and poor? Because of politicians like Benny Thompson, who care more about kissing the white Democrat, the white DNC executives' asses, and other, and the president, the president, who happens to be Caucasian, that he's too worried about kissing his ass and kissing all the other white folks in Congress asses. And yet his constituents are some of the poorest people in the country. Just like that, the late, what was his name? Elijah Cummings, the congressman from the late congressman from from the Baltimore, Maryland area. Here he is yelling and screaming on them committees he was on, yelling and screaming, and yet his constituents they can't even walk to the corner store without getting jacked in his district. That's one of the worst, poorest, and most crime-riddled neighborhoods in Baltimore. But yet, here's this coon. He's up here in Congress, up here yelling and screaming, talking about what somebody need to do. What you need to do is take care of your constituents that put your ass in that damn seat. That's what you need to do. But you ain't gonna do nothing that damn dumb, are you? This man then got shot at, and they right back with the rhetoric. If this wasn't an inside job, Biden and them created the climate that inspired this guy to try and take Trump out. And see why this doesn't, and another thing why this doesn't make sense, people, is that this guy was a registered Republican. Why was he shooting at Trump? You would think he'd be shooting at Biden rather than Trump. That's another thing that got people perplexed about this whole situation, and why it doesn't make sense, and why people are leaning toward this being an inside job. Don't make no damn sense, man. Come on. But you have to understand, we live in a country that was built on violence. We live in a country that was built on the principles of white supremacy. And now, just like Malcolm X said back in the early 60s, the chickens are coming home to roost. Everything that used to be under the rug in America that was out of sight, that they kept out of sight, now it's in sight. Now it's in front of everybody. The veil of white supremacy is starting to come off. And that's why you see people paying for being white supremacists. You're going to lose your job. Some folks can't hide their racism. You dig? Some people can't hide their racism. They got to say something to somebody. They got to post a video. You dig? Everybody hit the like button, please. And if you would, please go up to the top of the chat room. There is, I got all the title of all, where you can reach me on AskTheIceman.com. And I have the Cash App IDs up there. You could pick one or the other. If you wouldn't mind, drop something in the till tonight. Can you dig it? I'm going to take a quick break and I'm going to go up and get some water because I'm starting to get hot. And I don't want to drink all this water because I don't feel like going to the store buying more bottles of water. So I'm going to take a break, use the bathroom, give me some water, and I'll be right back down here in a couple of minutes, okay? Y'all hold tight. Don't go nowhere, man. I'll be right back, okay? All right. Let me see something here. All right. I saw another video last night. Of young black men and women talking about how trifling the Democratic Party is. Okay? And their triflingness is on display. Okay? From the time they took office, they ruined the economy, they ruined the military, they're promoting school districts, letting children change their gender if they want to and not, and they don't have to contact the parents to do it. See, when they start doing stuff, when the Democrats, these are Democrats, these are not Republicans, people. These are the Democrats doing this crap that run these school districts. Okay? Let me tell you something. If I had school-age children, my children would get homeschooled. Okay? They would get homeschooled because I don't like these public schools anyway. They ain't nothing but gladiator academies. The only thing your child gonna learn how to do is talk about people and fight. They ain't gonna learn nothing else. I'm surprised I didn't become a pro boxer, because that's all me and my siblings did was fight niggas. That's all we did. I got a cousin that grew up about 2 miles from us. He said the same thing. He said, man, he was like, man, that's all I used to do was fight all the damn time. That's all that happens at black schools. And you ain't doing nothing but doing your children a disservice. Then you gonna sit up here and send them to them racist ass white colleges so they can be more confused about who they are and what their place is in American society. And you know why you don't care? Because you don't know your place in American society. But voting for Democrats, you hope they do it for you. I'm glad that some of these congressmen and women and some of these senators who are up for re-election are shaking in their boots right now. Those of you who now, Senator Ossoff, that no good senator in Georgia, y'all got a chance to get his ass out of there in Georgia. Get that SOB out of there. Because all him and Warnock are doing is rubber stamping all of Biden's programs and policies, whether they help us or not. And them two don't give a damn whether they help us or not. Get him out of there. I'd rather see 2 white Republicans in there than see a black guy who ain't doing nothing for they people. He just all he concerned about is being ambitious with his no good ass. Those of you in Georgia, make sure Ossoff doesn't get reelected. He ain't got him and Warnock have no business in the Senate. Black Americans are the only people who allow politicians to shit on them, and they still keep voting for the same politicians with shit on their faces when they walk in the voting booth. We're the only ones that do that. When all these other people get disrespected by a particular party, they go jump to the other party. Because you got to understand, white people go make out like a fat rat, whether there's a Republican in there or a Democrat. It don't matter who's in power. They still gonna get theirs off the top. Because why? Because they're white. That's why when everybody who's non-white comes to America, the first thing they start doing is calling themselves white. And they could be darker than my ass. We look stupid as hell. I don't look stupid. You look stupid. Because most of y'all are still gonna go into that booth and vote for Joe Biden. Joe Biden's racist, white supremacist, 10 toes down the game, segregationist ass. Joe Biden, y'all got the nerve to sit up here and listen to Joe Biden talk about racism and white supremacy, and here he is, a 10 toes down in the game, white supremacist himself. His best friends were Klansmen. Robert Byrd, who senator who passed away a few years back, he was a staunch white supremacist. Joe Biden eulogized his funeral. This is a former Klansman. He probably still was in the Klan. And this is the guy y'all voted for. You look like a moron. Yes, I'm going to say it to your face. You are a dumbass moron for voting for Biden. I told you what he was going to do when he got in office, and he did. Not only did he exceed what I said he was going to do, or do what I said he was going to do, he exceeded it. Well beyond the call of duty. And y'all voted for him. Y'all sick this no good white supremacist devil on Black America because you too much of a coward to stand on your own 2 feet as a man or a woman. You still think like a plantation slave that is desiring to be taken care of by white massa and Missy Ann. And you sad as fuck. I wanted to talk about this human trafficking situation and how Black women and children play into this. I just saw a task force of specialized U.S. Marshal units that were going around busting up sex trafficking rings. And almost all the people coming out of them houses were children, were Black children and Black women. Did y'all know that? They arrested 200 people. And they rescued hundreds of kids and women. I told y'all about 2 or 3 years ago when there was another U.S. Marshals raid where they rescued a whole bunch of young teenage Black girls who were being sex trafficked. Okay? The youngest victim was a 2-year-old child. Let that sink in. Let that marinate. A 2-year-old child. Black women are leading in all of the negative categories of human life in America. They're the #1 women dying in childbirth or after childbirth, or during childbirth and after childbirth. Black women are #1, yet Black women only make up 7% of the population. But they're #1 in that category. Black women have the worst health out of all women, including poor women. Poor non-Black women, excuse me. You're #1. You're #1. You're #1 in poverty. You're #1 in having the lowest credit score out of all women. even Native American women. And we know some of them are poor as the day is long. Think about that for a second, people. If you don't believe me, go on Google right now. Google it. You're going to get the same information I got. I'm not going to come on here lying to you. You ain't that important. I don't need to lie to you. Black women have the lowest income out of all women. Even illegal alien women who come from south of the border, in a year or 2, 3 years, they doing better than your ass. And your family been over here for generations. Who you voting for, Black America? Black women are number one in student loan debt. Black women are number one in credit card debt. Again, you're only 7% of the population and you got them kind of numbers going on. There's 180 million white people in this country. And you top them. And yet you think the Democratic Party been helping us. Joe Biden got the nerve to get up in front of the coon ass and Sambo ass NAACP talking about, well, y'all had my back and I think I've had yours. You ain't had our back. You ain't done nothing but pull down your pants and took a massive shit on the heads of black voters. That's what you've done. And these shiftless, sorry Negroes love white folks so much, that you don't mind being abused by white people. See, these young black people, let me tell you something about these young brothers and sisters. They don't want to be abused like their mamas and their grandmamas and their granddaddies. All the old niggas in the family, they looking at them crazy as hell now. It's because of y'all, the reason why we in the situation, black folks in the position they in today. It's the baby boomers' fault. Think about that for a second, people. We're still talking about the same problems that your great grandmother and great grandfather was talking about in the 60s, 50s, and 60s. Because if you don't protect your legacy, you're going to repeat history. You have to understand, all old niggas wanted was to get a Cadillac or a deuce and a quarter, get a leather jacket, be able to pick their fro out and party. That's all black folks did. It was go to work and party. That came from the boomers, goofing off. And you wonder why we still talking about the same stuff that they were talking about 60 years ago. There's no telling how long those black women and those children were in those sex trafficking rings. You talking about raping 2-year-old kids. You selling the bodies of 2-year-old children. And some of these folks are black folks doing this shit. The reason why black women are the #1 sex trafficking victims in black children is because you purposely lock their fathers out of the lives of their children. So they have no protection. And it ain't their father's job to protect you. It's their job to protect them. So what these black women do to be assholes, they go and play keep away with the children. So you can't control what's going on with your children. And why how do adult black women end up in sex trafficking? Well, you ain't got no husband, you ain't got no protection, and your boyfriend and the niggas you fucking ain't gonna protect you. The dudes that's running through your drawers ain't protecting you, because they ain't built like that. Now, while you sitting up wherever you live getting ran through, ain't none of them men doing anything for you but providing you with bodily fluids. That's it. But you got the nerve to walk around here trying to lump all men in one big ass fishbowl. Talking about, American men ain't shit. Where are all the good men at? I was looking at videos earlier today on Google TV. I was looking at YouTube, and they had all these women of all races, Latinos, white folks, black women, all of them, all these women singing the same goddamn song. We can't find men. Like one white woman was like, well, she was okay looking. She was decent looking. She didn't have no makeup on, but she still was decent looking. If she had makeup on, that would have bumped her up a couple points. But she didn't have no makeup on. And she was saying how, as a single mom, all dudes do is want to run through. That's all they want to do, and take them out to have fun, but no relationship. And see, these women are backed into a corner, because if they decide that they're not going to give up the draws and play keep away with the draws, they know we gonna bounce. I know I do. I told y'all. 3 to 7 days. And sometimes it's 3 to 5 days. If the draws don't hit the ground, I'm out. I ain't spending no money on you. I'm not taking care of your bastard children. I'm not doing shit for you. Okay? And I don't give a damn if you don't like it. Because y'all made y'all's beds, now you gotta lie in it. All you women been sitting around for years telling men that we a bunch of rapists. We a bunch of American men are toxic. Their masculinity is toxic. So what's happening with these young guys under 40? They ain't even approaching these women. So you got all these young women. We talking about young women on YouTube talking about they can't find nobody, crying on TikTok. I can't find nobody. Well, you done ran all your possible suitors off. That's y'all's fault. I remember I was listening to this one black chick. There was a young sister on there, and she was saying, she was looking at, she said, I always heard, these jokes about old women and being the crazy cat lady and the crazy dog lady. And she said, in recent times, her view of that changed, okay, in the last few years. And she said that, what did she say? She said that now when she looks at the old crazy cat ladies, she said that could quite possibly be me, because I can't find a man. I'm 20-something years old and I can't find a man. Men won't even approach me. I'm telling y'all, man, it's stuff. Let me tell you something about the American media. The reason why they try to control social media. I'm talking about, the CBSs and the ABCs and the CNNs and the MSNBC and the Fox Newses and the Newsmaxes. The reason why they want to control social media is because look how it's worked well for them on TV and in movies. It's worked well for them. That propaganda has worked well for them. But see, here's the thing. The Biden administration has left women naked in this country. Mainly the backbone of the Democratic Party, black women. You're the poorest in the country, but yet Joe Biden's got your back. Joe Biden's got your back, right? You poor than everybody else. You poor than women that come over here from south of the border with nothing after 2 or 3 years. They got more coming in than you do. But yet you keep on voting for them Democrats, don't you? All the Democrats do is expand social programs. They're not going to help you get out of poverty. They ain't going to help you. See, the Republicans help their base. Democrats want to play games. Go and play them games with them. Some of you black women have been playing stupid games. Now you got stupid pride. Now you don't want stupid prizes. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Now you look real stupid in front of your own children, voting for that devil Joe Biden. Joe Biden up here talking about he used to drive a 18-wheeler. Did y'all hear this? Did y'all see the speech where Biden said he used to drive an 18-wheeler? Huh? He said Joe Biden said he used to live in the projects. Ain't no black projects in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Okay? The hell out of here, man. Hold up, let me do something with this washing machine real quick. You dig? You lead in all the wrong categories, and yet you the backbone of the Democratic Party. Really? You look like fools, black women. You're the poorest women in the country. You're the brokest women in the country. You got more debt than all other women, and you don't even have the numbers they got. Black folks, you smarter than that. But brothers, these black women ain't that smart. Because if they were, they wouldn't be voting for Joe Biden, would they? I guess some people was at a convention, some kind of convention a couple of weeks back, and they were talking to all these they were interviewing all these black men and women at this convention, asking them about whether or not they're going to vote for Trump or vote for Biden. And man, half the black women that they interviewed was mentioning all this bad stuff that Joe Biden has done or allowed to happen. And yet at the end of the interview, they talk about, well, I probably still vote for Joe Biden. See, if you had a man, fellas, all this stuff, the sex trafficking, the debt, all this stuff goes all the way back to you not having a husband. Ain't that right, fellas? You can trace all your financial, especially economic financial problems. You can trace all those problems back to the fact that you were a single mom and your mama was a single mom. Now, this doesn't include all single moms, because some single moms do represent, but only a very small, minute number of them do. You dig? Think about it. Okay, I posted it in here. Okay? You lead in all the wrong categories, black women. And the main reason is because you don't have a husband. Notice, and you know what? I forgot a category. The number one group of women who are getting evicted from their shelter, from the house or apartment they're renting, is black women. You guessed it, black women. Black women are the number one group of women, and we're talking about women with children. Now, where's the father at? Why are you sleeping in your car with your children and they got a father or fathers? They probably don't even know this bitch is sleeping in their car. See how selfish and narcissistic these American women are? They rather still be getting child support and living in their car. I saw video after video after video after video of young black women crying and boo-hooing on TikTok about the fact that they can't find a man. And some of them didn't even have children. A couple of them did. Most of them didn't. They ain't even got kids and still can't find nobody. Because y'all done turned these men into beta males. And now they don't want to be bothered with you. They would rather let another man tickle their ass than for them to be with you, or being with, or being without them, or being without dating women and, you know, giving up women altogether. Not necessarily becoming a homosexual, but that's what these young guys are doing. They're like, man, hell with these hoes. That's why I tell young men all the time, work on self. Get self together. To hell with these women. These women ain't worth it, man. They not worth your time, bruh. They ain't gonna never be your woman. It's just your turn. And when your turn is up, next man up. I don't know if any of you guys saw that lecture I did on damn, what was the name of that lecture? Damn, I can't even remember the name of it. It'll come to me in a minute. You wonder what, and see, you can trace all of their black women's problems back to the fact that you want to do it by yourself. You strong and independent. You don't need no man. Remember that? Several minutes later, here you are on a video crying and boo-hooing that you can't find a man and that you tired of paying this high-ass rent and ain't got no money left over. Like this one black woman was crying and boo-hooing that she has to keep renting a car every week to have some place to sleep. Let me tell you something. That thing of renting cars because you homeless, you're gonna end up on the streets, outside the car. Okay, you a fool for renting cars just so you and your children, and you can see you can see in the camera that she had a couple of little ass kids in the back. And she on TikTok boo-hooing and crying, talking about she ain't got no money left over at the end of the month to pay bills or pay rent. Remember, you caused that problem. You made that bed, now you gotta lie in it. You ain't getting no sympathy. Let me tell you something, brothers. Those types of black women and these know-it-all black women that think they have bypassed black men in some way so they can be totally disrespectful toward us. Them chickens coming home to roost, ain't they? Because remember, fellas, you and I, we're built to be by ourselves. Men are built to be by themselves if they have to be. We don't have to be socializing with other people. Women have to. Women are not built like that. Women can't just sit around and not tell somebody their business. They got to go tell somebody. Okay? That's how American women are. I mean, that's how women are all over the world. Okay? These women are now, because remember that moratorium on rent, when that ended, there was a kaleidoscope. There was a cavalcade of black women in general, and black women specifically getting evicted. Because during the pandemic, they were talking shit to their landlord. I ain't got to pay. Joe Biden said, I ain't got to pay rent. Oh, a whole bunch of women got beside themselves under that moratorium. And when it ended, them landlords got their monkey asses out of there and put them and their bum ass bastard children out on the streets. I thought y'all was strong and independent. Independent women don't live in their car. Independent women ain't homeless. They got something popping. You don't. So you ain't a strong and independent woman. You're a clown and a mascot. for white supremacist females. Y'all hit the like button. Make sure you share this on all your social media platforms. All these women online complaining. I've never seen that many women complaining like that about men. Yeah, I have. You know, there used to be an overabundance of black men ain't shit videos on YouTube. You don't see any of those videos anymore. Maybe they are on there. Maybe you've seen some of them. I haven't. I haven't seen any of them because that whole movement is dead and gone, dead and buried. You have movies that were supposed to be sure things at the box office the last 2 or 3 years. These movies are flopping. Big budget movies are flopping. And they're going to continue to keep flopping because people are tired of propaganda. People go to the movies to be entertained, not to be overwhelmed with propaganda. They can stay at home and get that off the TV. Yeah, I gotta check that BET Awards, some of these videos online, because somebody told me they was hella ghetto. Why is it that people are complaining about this last BET Awards, y'all? Why? Because I don't watch the BET. I don't watch none of that crap. I haven't watched the BET Awards in 30 years. I don't watch that garbage. People getting up there barefooted, acting ghetto. Oh yeah, sexy red. That old nasty trifling. Ugh, she is disgusting. You can look at her and get herpes. You ain't even gotta go up in her. You just look at her and get herpes. They have ruined black women. And black women, you have allowed it to happen. And black men, and this is another thing. This is another thing. Now, this had me laughing. There was a very college educated black woman that was on TikTok. And she was explaining, she was talking about the whole drizzle movement, how she can't find quality men and all this kind of crap. And I'm listening to this woman, and she was saying how she went to some kind of event, for something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she went to this event, and there were a whole bunch of couples there. And she said almost all the black men there, she said 99% of the black men had white wives or girlfriends. That's your fault, black woman. Whose fault is that? Yours. That's your fault. That's your fault that white women are getting men that are supposed to be meant for you. That's your fault. You want to be a white woman? You want all the benefits of being a white woman in America? Sure. Look, you got your college degrees. You got your little student loan money, and yet you on the bottom rung of society, and now other women can come along and whoop, I'll take that, brother. Whoop, I'll take that, brother. Because you don't care how you look, you don't care how you smell, you don't care what people think of you. All you care about is getting likes on social media. And you wonder why you're the poorest women in America. And yet you sitting up here voting for Democrats, people that claim to be for the working man. The Democrats are not for the working class no more. They're for the elites. Okay? Blame the Clintons for that. Okay? Blame them damn Clintons. Okay? Because they were the ones pushing that agenda. The Republicans are now the party of the working man and woman. Ain't that something? And it used to be Reagan Republicans were all about tax cuts for the rich. Now look, and see, they think that the people that Trump supporters are a cult. No, they're not. No, they're not. You know why they love Trump? Because Trump talks directly to them. He ain't talking from a teleprompter. He ain't sitting up there looking like an animatronics robot from Chuck E. Cheese like Biden's ass. Walking like he got a full diaper. Trump don't walk like that. He don't even act like that. Keep making fools out of yourselves, black voters. Because that's what you look like. Continuing to support left-wing white supremacy. See, you got to understand, brothers, a lot of these black women that vote Democrat and vote for Biden, a lot of these women are under the impression that the Democrats are a one-stop shop in taking care of black folks, and they ain't never took care of black folks. Never. Can't tell these voters nothing. You can't tell these voters anything, can you? But you got all these black women on there complaining about not that white women that you see all these brothers with white women. Let me tell you why that is. When you go to these exclusive events where these high earning people hang out, there ain't no black women there. I've been to some of that stuff. Ain't no black women in none of them places. You might see 2 or 3 black women, and they talk like a white girl. They talk like Valley white girl. They trying to be white. They too busy walking around there trying to be white. Okay? So when these brothers go into these circles, there ain't nothing but white women around. Maybe a couple Asian women mixed in there, but that's it. Well, black women ain't invited to that type of shit. Don't let these black women fool you, brothers. Black women ain't getting invited to none of that shit. Because I've been to some of this stuff. And ain't nobody in there but a bunch of white women. So who you think they gonna holler at? Same thing with these athletes and entertainers. Do you really think that these sports teams are gonna let a bunch of ghetto black women up in their midst around their players when they have team parties? Ain't no black women in there. There might be a handful, but they don't want a whole bunch of black women in there because they know if they let a bunch of black women in there, sooner or later there's going to be fighting in there over dumb shit. out of all the black women that they do, the handful of black women they do invite, those happen to be vetted black women. Those black women have been vetted. So when those black women come into these spaces, they on their best behavior, because they know if they coming in there with an attitude or coming in there acting ghetto, they ain't gonna never be invited back. But they still don't invite a bunch of black women in these events. Ain't nothing but a sea of white women. And let me tell you something, black women, the number one reason why you can't find a decent black man and all these non-black women that you are stealing your men, first of all, we ain't your men. Because you make it clear that you don't give a shit about black men. So we don't give a shit about you. We don't care what happens to you. I don't care about what happens to single moms. That's your ass. That's your ass. You think I'm gonna sit up here and lay down my life for some broken down single mom who ain't gonna appreciate it no way? Man, get the hell out of here. Think about that for a second, fellas. The reason why you got all these black men, black women, and black children getting swept into sex trafficking is because you don't have a husband. You have no protection. Let me tell you something. Sex trafficking has been going on for years. But when black men got into it, that's when they put some teeth behind it. They went from local pimping and pandering, which is a low-level felony, to sex trafficking. You ain't gonna get charged for nothing else but sex trafficking, because sex trafficking has RICO statute. If on the federal level, it's got RICO statutes attached to it. So that's why when you see these people who run these sex trafficking rings, when they do go to jail, they get football numbers. They getting 30 years, 40 years in prison because of the vile nature of the shit they doing. Or they get life. Usually they get life because of the egregiousness of what they've been doing to them women and them children. But black women are so successful, ain't they? You're so successful, you can't even protect yourselves. You talking about you don't need black men, but yet you whining on TikTok about black men not protecting your sorry asses. That's your fault. Y'all done drove black men away. Y'all done talked about us like we're dogs. And now we're saying, hey, handle them shits yourself. Since you know everything, strong and independent lady. Handle them shits yourself. When them white drug addicts run up in your house and shoot your ass, don't call me. When them Latino kids are whooping up on your damn children, don't call me. When them white kids at your child's school are beating up or picking on your child, don't call me. Don't call a black man. Call a daddy. See, being a free agent and a single mom hoe ain't fun no more, fellas. Being a hoe ain't fun no more. Being a certified hoe ain't fun no more. Because when your pocketbook is empty and your bank account is empty and the refrigerator is empty and your children are hungry and you on the verge of being evicted, How come you don't talk that strong and independent shit then? And you don't need black men then? Huh? How come you don't talk that shit then? I have never, ever, 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 ever seen a black woman complaining about black men when her wallet is empty and her children are hungry. All of a sudden, the black men ain't shit commentary goes the way of the dodo bird. You digs? They have you black women have created your own graves to lie in. You've dug your own grave. Now you got to lay in it. See, when them chickens come home to roost, fellas, we can handle it. Because we know, okay, I need to make changes. Women ain't like that, fellas. Women today aren't resourceful like Big Mama and them and your auntie and them from 50 years ago. They ain't got that kind of skill. They don't have them skills, fellas. These women have no skills other than sucking dick and rolling around and letting a man roll on top of them in the bed. That's all these women know how to do is sexual favors. That ain't gonna get you anywhere. That's not going to get you anywhere. There's always a dead end for a woman who tries to live off her body. Sooner or later, that body gets old. That face starts sagging. The crow's feet come in. The wrinkles come in. And now the same men that used to break their necks to get at you, now they walking right past you. They won't even look at you. Let me tell you something. Two things that make a woman want to commit suicide. Not being touched by a man and not having nobody to talk to. Now, they don't sound all that much of a big deal. But if you sit down and think about it, for a woman, it is a big deal. If a woman can't socialize, she goes crazy. If she gets touched, if she gets used to being touched by a man in her younger years, and then as soon as she hit the wall at 30, men don't want to touch her because she's overweight, and they don't want to smell chicken grease when she removes her clothing. They don't want to smell lard or peanut oil when you take your clothes off. So when a woman goes from being touched as a younger woman to not even being looked at after they hit the wall, you know what that does to a woman? See, a man can function unloved. Women can't. A woman, why you think they promote women giving gifts to each other on Valentine's Day, that Galentine's Day bullshit? Because they know that some contact is better than no contact for a woman. See, these are the principles of womanhood that your mama ain't gonna never teach. Your mama ain't gonna never teach you. Okay, those are the two. They're not the only. That's not an exhausted list, but those are two of the main ones: not being touched and not being able to socialize. That will make a woman put a rope around her neck in a minute. And if you check the suicide rates, a lot of poor women kill themselves. Did y'all know that? See, these are things. See, this stuff. See, women don't want to hear this stuff because they know that it destroys the whole myth that American women are in control of shit, that they running shit. It doesn't play into that narrative. You see what I'm saying? They want to be able to promote the narrative that women have all the rights and all we men are is subjects. Okay? We're just the queen subjects. Nobody acts more like that than black women. Black women think they own black men. You don't own us. And now that Joe Biden has played y'all for a fool and left y'all for dead, how does that feel? How's that working out for you? Huh? Yeah, exactly. Renegade hoes, JL. How's that renegade whole lifestyle working for you? How's that flat backing working for you? You used to be able to get your rent paid laying on your back or on your getting your knee pads out and getting on your knees. Now nobody don't want nothing. Now men, once you done hit the wall, men don't want, they don't want them sexual services from you. Well, if you spend the night, if you can fix my brakes, I'll let you spend the night. Nah, bitch, that's okay. Yeah, I'm good. Yo, I'm cool on that shit. You look like Nell Carter, okay? You look like the white woman on Facts of Life, okay? On the Facts of Life show, okay? Ain't nobody trying to let you suck their dick. That's some head they can pass on. You dig? Let me see. So let me check something real quick. Let's see. Okay. Now these women have one leg in the grave and one leg on a banana peel because of their dumbass thinking. And I'm going to tell you right now, that pandemic sped that process along, didn't it? Didn't it? That pandemic sped the process of women being defeated economically in this country, as well as that uprising after the George Floyd murder. That sped that situation up faster than it would have. And it exposed a lot of women who were already financially vulnerable. The biggest, and I'm gonna say this again, the largest group in general of people being evicted is American women, and specifically black women. So all that talk about men are garbage, men are full of shit, black men ain't shit. All of that stuff has bore what kind of fruit? What fruit has that movement, the black men ain't shit movement? How has that edified black women? How has that exalted black women? Putting your own men down, your sons down, your fathers, your cousins. You dumbasses. You let these white supremacist females have you hating your own men. There was a black woman that did a video on TikTok this morning that I find to be very interesting. And this sister, she was very intelligent. She said, and she wasn't talking about herself. She was trying to give these women some act right. Okay? She was like, ladies, let me say something to you. She said, I don't know how many female relatives who have been evicted from their apartments because the rent got jacked up. For some people, jacking your rent up $100 prices them out of that apartment or that house. And if you ain't got no man, you ain't got no, look, I said man, if you ain't got no husband to bring in another income into the house, you ass out. Why would you set yourself up for failure like that? And why would you set your children up for failure? Let me tell you something. Single moms, children are filling up all the prisons from the federal level all the way down to the state level in all 50 states. Single moms, children are filling up the jails and the prisons all over this country because they ain't got no discipline. They don't know how to act because they ain't never had no man in their life to set them straight like a man's supposed to. I've been trying to, man, I've been yelling this to the mountaintops for 10 years, warning black women that this day would come, that you are going to be by yourselves and you're going to be starving, you're going to be poor, and you're going to have a mountain of debt, and your credit score is going to be in the toilet or circling the toilet. I've been telling you this. But instead of listening, you say, I ain't listening to no black man tell me nothing. When I first started doing live streams on Facebook, I had nothing but black women coming for me. It was nothing but black women. Where are you getting your research? Like I got to go contact some white person to get my research from them. So if I don't get it from a white person, it ain't actual and it ain't factual. Ain't that something? These are the black women who have gone to these white colleges and been whitewashed. Then they try to bring that filth back to the white colleges and been whitewashed. Then they try to bring that filth back to the black neighborhood. Then they try to bring that into your black relationship. And the main reason why black women can't get or keep a man, or they can get a man and can't keep one, is because of your foolish, nonsensical, illogical thinking. And it's getting you killed out here on these streets. You'd rather be alone and be vulnerable for some white supremacist to put a bullet in your goddamn head and snatch your children. You'd rather take that chance just so you can play musical bed sheets with all these men you having sex with. Sooner or later, that bed gonna get cold as hell. See, a man can deal with a cold bed. Women can't. This is why women, because you have to understand, why you think women have sex with so many men? Women have so much sex with all these different men because they're looking for love. That's the only way they can get a man to hold them, is a man pumping on top of them. They got to lower their standard. They got to lower themselves down to that kind of behavior just to have a man's touch. Ain't that sad? You sort of screwed up in the head that you don't want one boyfriend. You would rather just have all these different dudes laying on top of you. Ain't that right, black women? You got men out here saying, oh, I can't find no women. Hey, no big deal. I'm just going to put my time. I'm just going to put my money, invest in me. I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to invest in my children or my son or my daughter. The hell with these broads. You got women out there so that crazy, that messed up in the head that they think a man laying on top of them is love. Ain't that sad? You talking about an empty life. See, a man can live an empty life. He can still function to a certain degree. Not some of you young guys. A woman don't function like that. She got to be touched. She got to be kissed. And believe it or not, don't let these women lie to you, fellas. Women do not like sleeping by themselves. That's why when they single moms, they got all their dogs and cats in the bed. They got their children all in the bed. Their son is 10 years old and he's still sleeping in the bed with his mom. Now we get into some Oedipus shit. Because that line is being crossed. You being made, like my man TBA said, you being made into being what do you call it, a son husband. That shit is funny to me. A son husband. Okay? You making your son your man because you too lame to get and keep a man. Do you really think your children would end up in sex trafficking if their father was allowed to protect them? But because you have allowed these white supremacist females, feminist females, to turn the family court into a circus for women and a place where men go to die. Like I said again, the chickens are coming home to roost. All that dumping, all that men ain't shit, all that shitting on men y'all been doing over the years, all that's coming home to roost on y'all. And if you and you should be worried if your daughter is one of these women crying and boo-hooing on TikTok about not being able to find a man. Okay? What I told y'all, Joe Biden, I told you that Jim Crow Joe Biden was the devil incarnate. But because you think you know every goddamn thing and you think the Democratic Party got your back, you took your monkey ass out there and voted for that devil. And anybody that didn't vote for Biden in 2020, you a Trump supporter. I ain't got them people calling me a Trump supporter now. They ain't calling me a Trump supporter now, fellas. Because the prophecy has been fulfilled. I told you this stuff was gonna happen. I told you the Democratic Party, once Joe Biden got in there, they were gonna shit all on all of those who voted for Joe Biden. He gonna shit all on your black asses, and that's exactly what he did. But it ended up being worse than we could have ever imagined. It came out to be worse than we could ever imagine. And now, see, white women can tap into that $1 million of whiteness if they got the right people around them, and they can get put on. Black women, you ain't got that hookup. Most of the people you know don't own shit. You can go to Harvard and get a law degree, MBA. You get all your little degrees, and you're still poor. You're still broke. You still ain't got a man. You traded a college degree and a job for a man. And then you wonder why after you tell men that you meet that you got an MBA from the University of Michigan and this, that, and the third, you wonder why men ain't impressed, because men don't look for the same things in women that women look for in men. Your earning potential doesn't impress a man, because he go get his ass out there and get it. See, men know they got to go out there and go fishing and catch them fish. But women have been coddled and allowed to sit on welfare, sit on other social programs. Man, every time I look at a judge show, I see some trifling ass black woman on there talking about she on Section 8. You sorry ass motherfucker. How the hell you gonna be able-bodied and you sitting up here with getting a housing voucher? Then your bastard children are tearing up the damn property. That's one of the reasons why I haven't rented a room to people since I've been in here. I don't really need the money, but I could use it for some certain things that I want to get fixed around here that I don't want to put on a credit card or take money out of my savings. But I don't want somebody else walking around my house. And I don't, because the first thing they're going to do as soon as they get a place to stay, they're going to have their old nasty ass boyfriend over here or their nasty ass girlfriend over here. And they're going to be up in here screwing and acting like idiots, acting like this is their house. Let me tell you something. The first time if I was renting a room to somebody, like let's just say I rented a room to a woman. And as soon as I cut the corner and go to the store to go get something or go to the gym or go somewhere, go to VA, wherever, she brings her boyfriend over and he's sitting on my couch in the living room watching TV on my main TV. Now, you know damn good and well there's going to be some fighting when I walk in that door. Because the first thing I'll be like, man, who the hell are you sitting up on my couch watching my TV, motherfucker? What the hell is wrong with you? That first time I see that, I'm be in jail. I'm like, motherfucker, you got your feet all up on the ottoman. You sitting up here eating and popping popcorn and shit, using my popcorn machine. You two idiots sitting up in there partying like this is your house. This ain't your house. And it ain't never gonna be your house. You just a motherfucker that pay rent to live here. And as soon as you act a fool or you stop paying rent, you getting evicted. Because somebody asked me, one of my doctors asked me, said, hey, why, I know the economy's all messed up. Why don't you rent a room? I'm like, I ain't renting no room to nobody, man. I don't want nobody in my house. I don't mind having a woman stay here every now and then overnight, but I don't want nobody living here. I know if you spend the weekend, you going back to your place because you ain't moving in here. I've had women say to me, hey, you got that big old house over there. You should let me live with you. You ain't living with me, bitch. You ain't living with me. How come? Because it's going to be easy to get you in here and difficult to get your ass out of here. You ain't going to file no goddamn restraining order on me so I can't come in my own goddamn house. Man, I wish you would. Okay? I done seen I don't know how many people rent rooms to women, and then they go because the the woman gets in there and decides she ain't gonna act right. Now she's sitting up there suing the dude where he tried to talk to me. What you expect? Huh? What do you expect? So what? Ain't the end of the world? But these women have put themselves in a position where they can't even call on black men for help, financial help, or physical protection. You done turned this off. You done been talking to, see, black women, white women don't talk to their men the way you do. See, the way you deal with black men, the way you talk to black men is you treat all of us like we are beholden to you some kind of way, that we owe you something. The black woman ain't the backbone of nothing. And I get tired of hearing that. Black women is the backbone of the family. No, they ain't. If you a single mom, you ain't a family. A family is a man, a woman, and 2.5 children or one child. That's a family. What you got over there is a fractured nuclear family unit. That's not a family. That's why that's why you can qualify for a lot of goodies, guarantees, and giveaways, because people feel sorry for your ass. But you made yourself a single mom by spreading your legs for every Tom, Dick, Harry, and Joe, and Devontae. Now that you done got old and fat and ugly, or skinny and meth head looking and ugly, now you want to sit around and complain about there ain't no good men. There's good men all around you. They don't want you. They don't want your sorry ass. That's what the deal is, Bill. The same men that you keep riding down on don't want your ass. They've been hearing your bullshit complaining for the last 10, 15 years, and they like, man, fuck these women. You ain't getting nothing out of me but hard dick and bubble gum. That's one thing I love. That's one thing I do like about Trump. When he was single, it was like, you hoes, all you hoes can do is get up on these balls. That's it. You ain't gonna get no car. You ain't gonna get no jewelry. You ain't gonna get shit. All you gonna do is back that thing up. And if you want to play games and not do that, then you backing that thing up right out the front door. Okay? You can take your bastard children with you. Okay? See, fellas, a lot of these women are hurting out here. They down bad, man. These women are hurting out here. And see, the media ain't telling the truth. If you want to get the truth, you got to go on social media. That's why they want to control social media. See, this is why the Democratic Party was talking about misinformation and disinformation. Remember they were doing that? Telling all them damn lies. The hell out of here. And now look at the situation. Now we know why they were coming after us on Facebook and YouTube, to say the least. Because they want to control the narrative and not have the truth be posted up on social media. See, social media ended up being a thorn in the side of the white supremacists in this country. Because whenever you want to really find out about something, where you got to go? You ain't gonna turn on ABC News, are you? You know you ain't gonna turn. We know you ain't gonna turn on CNN and MSNBC to get real news, because all you gonna get from them is propaganda. Fox News too. Now Fox News will tell the truth about Democrats and lie about what the Republicans do, and lie about their racism. Okay? I look at Fox News only to find out what I can't find out on ABC, NBC, and ABC and CNN, the Caucasian Nazi network. Women are in trouble in this country, fellas, not us men. Men are okay. Okay? We ain't worried about shit. But these women are worried, fellas. These women are worried. Especially these younger women in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. These women are worried, because they can look at the, if you're a 40-year-old woman, you know how much money you got in your 401k. You know you ain't got enough money to retire. Well, I guess I work till I drop. Who said you gonna work that long? Well, who said you gonna work till you drop dead? You might get sick and end up disabled in 2 years. Do you think I look in the future and said I'm gonna have multiple surgeries on my neck, getting my neck damn near rebuilt, getting operated on my back, my lower back, not being able to walk, having to use a wheelchair? You think I saw that coming? No. You don't know what's going to happen to you once you cut that corner. You don't know what's going to happen to you tomorrow. So for you to sit there and say, well, I just work till I get old, that's not going to happen for you. I guarantee you're going to end up disabled and not being able to work. And you're going to be, and you know what? And here's another statistic for you, fellas. Old people are being thrown out on the streets. All the, the women who were 40 years ago, they were the biggest hoes on the streets. Now look at it. Now you some old woman barely getting by. Man, they throwing these senior citizens out of these rental units like flies on doo-doo. Okay? So if you're a woman or a senior and you ain't took care of business with your finances over the years, you're going to end up like a lot of these black women. You're going to end up evicted. You're going to end up jobless. You're going to end up sleeping in your car with your children. Is that really, when you were in high school, did you sit there and say to yourself, that this is what I want for me as an adult woman, that 10 years from now or 5 years from removed from high school, I'm gonna end up sleeping in my car with my son? No, you didn't see this coming. That's why I try to sound alarms, because even though it's hard to hear some of this stuff I'm telling you, it's going to help you in the long run if you're willing to do the work. The problem is most women today and most men today don't want to do any work. Let's just be honest. Everybody wants to be an influencer. Everybody wants to be able to sit on their asses and do nothing and get paid all the money. These are the first generations that we have today, the Gen Zs, the X's, and all the millennials. These are the first generations who actually think they can get something for nothing. And women are no stranger to that mindset. Women think that they can use their looks to get something for nothing. That's only gonna last till you hit the wall. And some of y'all hit the wall at 28. Hell, some of y'all hit the wall at 25 because you done had a baby and you got all fat and stank looking and ugly. Now the only job you can get is Walmart. Walking around Walmart with your hair sticking all up on your damn head. Your hair ain't even combed, looking ridiculous. Man, these black women don't care how they look. And you wonder why successful, high value black men don't want your ass. Huh? I don't know what you talking about, man. Okay? I sound the alarm on a lot of this stuff. Economic issues, political issues, social issues. The reason why I sounded an alarm on this stuff before it gets worse is so you got time to react. See, fellas, if I tell fellas, if I could prove to you, fellas, that if you do XYZ, you're going to have this positive outcome. A man will listen to that and say, okay, I'm going to do that because I want to get off. I'm going to get out of this rut I'm in. A man will make the choice, will make the decision, and then he'll put the work in. What a woman will do is sit there and boo-hoo and cry and try to manipulate and gaslight some man in their phone trying to get him to pay their bills. Or they contacting you so they can get a free dinner and a free drink. Come on, man. Ladies, those days are over with. The days of getting free stuff is over with, man. And it's going everything you've been able to use to manipulate and gaslight and destroy black men, it's coming back around screwing you in the ass, ain't it? You talk about how broke these men are, but look at your finances. Huh? Look at your finances. You can't even put food on the damn table, lady. You can't even feed your child. But you sitting around here talking about what black men ain't doing. See, if you control your actions, you ain't got time to be watching what I'm doing. because you too busy over there taking care of your business. We got generations of black women who have come from single female-headed households with no father in the home. Ain't that a shame? And all of that is thanks to the Democrats. They are subsidizing you, destroying your lives and destroying the relationships between you and black men, so you have nobody in your corner but other raggedy, broke, poor black women who can't do shit for you but sit around and cry along with you and yours. See, ladies, men are not just necessary to a society. They're required, because who's going to protect the neighborhood from criminals? We know the police ain't going to do nothing. We know the police ain't going to do nothing. Who's going to protect you? Huh? Who's going to protect the country if we ain't got no men? Y'all sound stupid as hell talking about we don't need no men. Well, who's going to protect the damn country? Who's going to stand a post and keep the other foreign governments out of here? Because America has pissed off so many people around the world, some folks can't wait for us to drop our guard. You dig? You tune in to the Facts Over Feelings podcast. I'm your host, the Iceman. Make sure you drop by AskTheIceman.com. Check out some of our business plan packages, life and dating coaching packages. Don't suffer in silence. Get you some help. The Iceman can help you. And if I can't help you, I'll have one of my associate life coaches help you out. Can you dig it? Don't forget to get my first book, The Game of Life According to the Iceman, Volume 1. You can get it at AskTheIceman.com and Amazon. This concludes another episode of the Facts Over Feelings podcast. I am your host, the Iceman. Holla at your boy.